Our bonds the sword, our hearts the That is right.
Great one.
Okay, perfect. Welcome back to session 8 of our Critical Failures channel. We have the entire crew here tonight besides Joy. We have Nate.
So not the entire crew?
Yep, minus one. We have Nate. We have Frost. We have everybody today. As we found the soundboard at this time. But, yeah, so we have everyone here tonight except Joy, as we're going to begin today's session with Curse of Strahd ReVamped. A little bit of a recap of what has happened last time is we have explored a little bit of the village of Barovia. We have successfully survived the church with those who were inside there fighting the priest and releasing some of the victims who were inside the crawl space of that. During that time, some of us also went over to the forest to help out Rasmus with chopping wood, which was Thalamir, which he found a unique journal from a potential druid that he found. But also during that time, Gestal and Gray explored and potentially was on the road to find that missing child, where they were interrupted by a creature inside the woods. Luckily, they survived, and they did find some remains inside this creature and brought some closure to the captain, the fisherman, inside the village. After that, the party was reunited at this time. I believe somebody was stabilized, but not dead, if I remember correctly at this time. I believe that was Palin. And that's kind of where we left off session, was you guys seeing each other in the kind of street outside of the area. I assume you guys would have went inside the tavern at this time, if that's a good assessment.
Yep. Yeah. Jason is carrying Palin inside the tavern to see if anyone can help him.
For sure.
So now we're just assuming, right?
Yeah,
Sounds like a mini push. Don't you dare mini push.
At this time, you guys are outside of the Blood on the Vine Tavern. You guys can see that single kind of light illuminated out of the front door. You can hear that there is the sound of crackling fire inside as well from the fireplace. But you guys have reunited at this time. For Gestal, for Thalamir, and for Gray, you guys see Jason. And then Palin kind of hung over the side of Jason's shoulder with some visible wounds at this time. That's where we're going to begin today's story right there. What do you guys do?
You guys just see a completely bloody Jason, exasperated, being like, "Do any of you know any gardening? Like, can any of you heal this pumpkin man?"
I come galloping up. Yes. What happened? Is everyone okay? Are you guys okay?
Well, we are now. So turns
in
out
the meantime,
priest was a vampire, and he was creating other spawn. So we just killed him, but Dylan is in a rough shape.
While he's saying that, I'm gonna touch Palin and cast Lay on Hands.
Okay. How much healing would you give him at this time?
1 point.
Okay. As this happens, Palin, everything starts going a little bit dark for a moment as you faded away kind of during that time in the crawl space of the church. But at this moment, you can feel your sensations come back as your eyes open, and you see Jason and Thalamir in front of you receiving those points of damage, or those points of healing at this time.
You say he was a vampire. How interesting. I may have to make a return trip.
Oh, so now you guys want to investigate. Cool.
It was very dangerous.
Forgive us for giving him the benefit of the doubt.
We'll forgive you this time, but next time, pay attention to the monster hunter.
Very well. In the meantime, I would like to go. That type of body is an ideal host. It won't rot.
I mean, he was already pretty rotten, but yeah.
Rotten in spirit, indeed. That guy sucked.
Physically, however, is all I need. I don't touch the mind, simply the muscle.
Thalamir, with an intelligence check of an 11, what are you trying to do at this time?
I wanted to know if I know what happens to vampires' bodies
With an 11,
when they're dead.
You're not sure with an 11. What I will say is that you know they don't just turn to dust or anything of such.
Which is the main thing I was wondering.
I was going to say, from what they've said around you, they did not see that, but you don't have any additional experience of that.
Yeah, I don't say anything. I just think it's myself.
Well, I can't imagine it'll be too dangerous at this point. I could probably just go on my own and be back shortly. It's just going up there, launching the spores at the bodies, and then coming back.
It's Arovia, plus he had a bunch of like mini bat monsters. I don't think it's safe for you to just go in there alone.
Palin needs time to recover.
I do.
Can go with you. Dylan can sit back and make sure that nothing that if we are attacked, you at least have some backup.
Very well. As I said, it should be short. A simple back and forth.
Aren't you wounded, monster hunter? And I'm gonna drop like my half of that like skull onto the ground.
Cool. So you guys were also in a battle.
We found the fisherman's child. What was left of it anyway.
Oh.
Wait, no.
We killed what ate him.
What did
found out
eat him?
Its name is Hellhound.
Hellhound?
Hellhound. It's this. From the description, I mean, I didn't see it, but while they were off doing that, I was chopping wood, and I found this book by some ancient druid, and they explained what a hellhound was, and it was this giant black beast with glowing red eyes. Is that true? Is that what you saw?
Pretty much.
I was told that these things get ferocious at night, and that ferocity is tenfold during a blood moon.
And there are more of these.
What I understood, there's a very large amount of these wandering, especially the woods. They will wander into town every now and then.
Ooh.
Keep an eye out.
Are they very
Especially-
difficult to kill?
It did take us quite the effort to do so.
I can only
Thankfully-
imagine what they would be at a blood moon.
Thankfully, we were coordinated. So not much damage was taken, at least on my front. Ma got batted out of it.
Do we know when the next blood moon is?
So, what you guys know about the blood moon is it's going to be about a 25% chance within the next 4 days. So each day is like a 25% chance. So it could be tomorrow,
Okay.
or it could be within these 4 days.
Okay.
But it's starting tomorrow that we have those 25% chance.
So starting
For
tonight
tonight.
is that
Yeah.
first 25% chance. Yeah. So basically, I just rolled. Everything was divided by 25. So there's a specific day. Could be tonight. Could be one of the following other 3 days.
And then, when are we supposed to be going to Valaki? When are we
So-
supposed to
Tonight.
be leaving?
They want to leave
Night.
soon. They want to leave hopefully within
Or
the
leave
next
today.
hour or so. Yeah. Unless you guys have things you guys want to do within, obviously, the confines of the areas. But they are
They're
already-
leaving regardless.
They're leaving no matter what. That's the thing, is they're not gonna wait. They're not gonna. They gotta do what they gotta do, kind of. Yeah.
And how long does it take to get to Valaki from here?
So
On foot?
how I have it with the mechanics is it's probably going to take with carriage to get there all the way from the village to there only about 4 to 5 hours, which isn't super long, but you don't want to be there late at night obviously either because dangerous.
And what's the time currently right now?
We'll just kind of use like our time, like about 1 p.m. to noon, so it's still kind of high in that hour. You guys woke up early and you guys did a lot of stuff, specifically with the burial and everything, but you guys also separated as well for a bit. So
They wanted to leave at 3, right?
correct.
Do we know what time the sun sets?
So the sun sets usually around that 6 or 7 p.m. time is when that dusk
So
happens.
we're definitely going to be traveling at night.
Yeah.
and
There's
they know that.
there's a chance that we could run into a blood moon
Mhm.
close to the end of our journey.
Right at the
Let-
beginning.
No, 4 to 5 hours. If we leave at 3 and sun sets at like 6 or 7.
8 to 9ish, you probably get there. So, you guys
Oh,
would
so
probably
about maybe about halfway through the journey.
yeah, and that's that
fine.
is a good amount of the time too. Yeah, so
Can we maybe go talk to Ishmark and convince him to not leave today?
Yeah, I mean,
I
if we
think
can,
it's Irina that wants to leave.
Because they both want to leave. And they knew the risks.
She was pretty
That's right.
adamant about leaving today.
we need to try and convince them to wait. I mean, it'll
Oh,
give ourselves 12 hours.
We had already agreed.
We could perhaps convince them to leave earlier.
I mean, in the state of Palin and Jason's condition, there are no means to fight.
I'll be all right.
I can still sing
I'm
the
good as a
sword.
fiddle.
Okay, look,
They can
you are
rest.
pretty bad. You need to rest, my friend.
They can
I'm fine.
rest in the carriage, assuming they allow us to ride within it with them. Those of us less spent can take first watch. This will give them time to rest up enough to be useful again.
I'm still useful. I can still fight things.
No,
Anyway,
Just you take that into consideration and rest now. I know that is what I will be doing.
there is time, obviously, until 3 o'clock. So if anyone does plan on having potentially a short rest, you guys could do so inside the tavern if that's what you guys decide on doing, unless you guys have any other plans or ideas, or just staying the entire day and leaving tomorrow independently. Whatever you guys plan on saying or doing at this time.
I'm going to
I
be
still
taking
think-
a short rest.
Me as well.
Can we take a short rest and also talk to Ishmark about trying to maybe convince him to stay, or is it we have to choose?
No, so with short rest, like you guys will experience some of those potentially with your guys' like carriage travels and stuff. That'll just be a time where for that, as long as there's no roll that kind of has an encounter happen, that's an hour where you get to heal up. Usually about like an hour. And if you guys have any conversations or actions you guys want to do, you guys just need to be in somewhat of a relaxed state. So you guys don't have to be fully resting. But as you guys are inside the tavern, I see some of you guys doing that. I will just ask, well, Jason, since you brought it up, give me a D100. You want to get higher than about a 20.
Oh boy.
4.
The way my
Boy.
luck has been this week, I feel a
4
100
or 13.
coming.
Here it is,
99,
13.
99.
25.
99.
25.
49, that's okay. So no ill effect, no random encounters on the table. You guys can give yourselves that short rest when it comes to your hit dice. But during this, please, let's go kind of and evaluate what we're doing one by one. Any actions, any things that we're discussing, or anything during this hour as you guys are getting a little bit of warmth from that distant fireplace inside the village tavern. What do you guys say or do at this time during your short rest?
well, since I'm apparently not going to the church, I'm just sitting and staring. I'm not injured at all. So I'm existing.
Sure. Existing is a beautiful thing as you get to sit there at the wooden table with some of your companions. It is kind of
Oh, hey.
dead.
Ishmark.
Yep, dead, dreary hour. Ishmark is inside there as well, and you can see he is basically going to some of the locals in there, giving them hugs, the kind of goodbye, saying his kind of farewells. And currently, right now, he is talking to the barkeep. You can see he has a big meal that's being put on a big bowl. Looks to be more of that stew and slop at this time. Anything else, Gray, that you're doing during this short rest?
No, since I can't walk to the church by myself, I'm just gonna hang out until I'm able to have someone.
All right. And then for Jason at this time, during this short rest, what are you up to?
I am going to see if anyone wants to come with me, talk to Ishmark. Maybe try to convince him to leave later.
Okay. As you plan to do so, does anybody plan on going with Jason during this short rest over to the bar tabletop, or anything else you guys are doing separate during this time?
I am gonna go off into a room and like lock the door behind it, and I'm gonna be doing some esoteric rites to regain my spell slots, and I'm gonna like just look myself over, and if I need to like clean up some scratches or anything from the fight, I'll do that.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm too damaged or anything, so I'll just kind of make sure I have all my stuff and then get prepared to go.
For sure. Inside that room, we'll go to you for a moment then. Is there anything you'd like to describe specifically on how you're doing these activities inside this enclosed, locked room of the Barovian Tavern?
I'll take out that journal that I have, and I'll start flipping through some of the pages, and I'll start setting up like maybe some scraps of flesh from the thing that I killed. I'll put the skull kind of like in the center of where I'm doing these rites, and then I'll start speaking some prayers, and I'll pull out Labyrinth's Fang, and I'll place it behind it, and I'll kind of direct everything towards that, and I'll try and see if I can force myself to absorb that bestial energy from myself, from my blood, and kind of bring it to the surface without shifting. And as that happens, I'm going to make sure the door is locked, and I'm going to kind of place the skins that I've gotten from it down on the ground and kind of just try and feed some of whatever wounds are still on me, whatever blood is there, into that.
Yeah. And as you're doing so, you can have these moments where your muscles twitch and your body kind of focuses in on this activity. This is your personal time during this eventful day to kind of make this connection, to kind of build this at this time. Is there anything else you do during this kind of some ceremonial kind of acts inside this room?
No, I just kind of go through the book afterwards and read some more of it, try and make sure I'm still on pace with what my goals are, and after about like an hour and 15 minutes comes out, I'll kind of find my way out here and find where the Giggling Maw is, and maybe order something to eat, start to just wait for everyone.
For sure. As you begin to kind of make your way back out there, for Palin, is there anything that you're up to during this hour or so? Or are you going with Jason as well to go talk to that Ishmark at this time?
I'll stay here and get my short rest.
Yeah. As you kind of hang tight, get some food. If you eat it or not, it's up to you. As you begin to get some rest, keeping that hot pot of stew just simmering in front, untouched. For Thalamir, I see you went with Jason. As the two of you begin to approach Ishmark, you can see he is at the bar eating what looks to be this large bowl of this stew, and he also has a few drinks around him as well that are partially drinking at this time already. As he kind of looks over and goes, so you're ready to leave already? We still have a couple more hours until we want to.
So, hi Ishmark. Hello again. Jason, Monster Hunter. Just the priest who was a vampire. And I was wondering if we could convince you to just hang tight today and we can leave tomorrow, like, early.
I don't think that this is in the plans. We plan on leaving about 2 hours. We have a long way to go, and we don't want to get caught with any of the blood moons.
Well,
If we leave within the time frame that you want, we are gonna be in the blood moon.
that's exactly it. I mean, I have never been there, but people around town have said that Vallaki is about a 6-hour travel with carriage. And if the sun sets around 6 and we leave at 3, and I'm not very good at math, but that's pretty simple. If we leave tonight, there's a chance that we could get caught in a blood moon out in the middle of the woods. And there's no chance, I think, that we would make it. If we leave first thing in the morning, we'll be at Vallaki before supper.
Well, my concern is that this would be one of the first nights, besides last night, without our father protecting, my sister. So
If it
maybe
would make you feel better,
we can stay at your house. Like, we can offer our protection.
like some type of sleepover. Y'all just stay over there and protect us. I will say though that I do think that we can get there before the blood moon. But even if it is starting
How do you think?
Well, if we just don't make any pit stops and we don't explore anything, if we can just go straight there, I think that we'd be fine. But I also know that there is a Vistani camp that is on the way, that if we are running behind, we can always seek refuge there. My father knows one of their leaders at the camp.
Why risk it though?
Well,
Why not just wait an extra night? I mean, it's not even a full 12 hours.
I personally don't mind. I don't even care about going to Vallaki, as you know, but my sister is adamant on going there, and it was my father's wishes to not even stay a day.
Maybe we could, Irina. If she agrees to stay, would you also?
You can try. She has never agreed to anything, ever, that I've ever brought up to her, so...
If it is
Well-
of any assistance, I
Ooh,
will
Jesus.
be awake.
I didn't see you there.
Who is that?
You can see Ishmar kind of looks over at you, and you did kind of scare him for a moment. And she goes, I didn't see
I
you there."
apologize. I apologize. I heard from over the table that you were worried about a sleepover. I do not require the same type of rest as you.
That's even
I would
more
be able to
creepy.
stay up. I would be able to stay up all night and keep watch, if that is a concern.
I think that would cause a little bit more concern, since she'll just be staring at us all night. But
Not at you, outside.
Well,
The intention of a watch is to prevent intruders.
I agree, but I do not think that Irina's going to change her mind. And if you're ready, we can even try to leave earlier if you'd like.
That was the opinion I was of. If we could happen to pass by the church on the way.
What do you have going on at the church?
We should properly ensure that the priest cannot get back up if he truly was a vampire,
What do you mean?
the way that the others suspect.
Is something wrong with Father Donovich?
The others discovered a secret in his cellar.
What type of secrets? I just talked to Father
Vampires spawn. Several of them.
You can see he kind of leans back with a raised eyebrow, and Thalamir, you can kind of get the sensation that he almost has changed his tone to more of a concerned, suspicious kind of look towards Greg.
If you do not believe me, you are certainly welcome to see for yourself.
Well,
If the bodies have not been moved.
my concern is now this town doesn't have a priest, doesn't have a religious
It
figure.
never did. If he was a vampire creating spawn the way that the others said, then he was a danger and a liar.
He's buried my father, my grandfather, my mother, my mother's grandparents.
I did a ritual to prevent your father from rising, one that the priest did not.
Well, I don't know why you'd have to stop there. If they're dead, let the dead be dead. Let them lie.
If they are undead, they can rise.
And Rasmus can deal with it, or some of the town guards. That's not my problem. I get to go to a new town that actually has walls, and I can actually go to the store without feeling like I'm going to get jumped.
Very well. If you can discuss it with the others, I will see if someone else is willing to escort me, and we can meet on the road.
Whatever works for you. I just know that we probably plan on leaving within the next hour or two. I'll talk to my sister as he looks over at you, Thalamir, but I can't make any promises.
We'll have a word with her.
He downs the
Turn and walk away.
rest of his drink and he begins to leave towards the door. He waves over at Bartlett at the time, Palin, and Gestal. You guys see Ishmark kind of walks by, kind of nods, and begins to walk out.
I'm just gonna immediately follow him because I saw Jason leave already. I'm gonna signal. I'm gonna just passing by. We'll be at Irina's house. We need to have a word with her before we leave.
The plan is either leave early, or if we can somehow convince her to leave tomorrow.
I'm gonna nod. I'm gonna send Ixik with them. And I'm just gonna kind of look at Palin sitting across from me, seeing what Palin's gonna do.
And we'll focus on that interaction between the two of you at this time as Palin, you see Gestal is there. Most of the party from Gray, Thalamir, and company all have made their way over towards Ishmark and Irina's estate. But it's you and Gestal looking at each other awkwardly with the two old people by the fireplace, Bartlett doing her work, and the bartender looking to clean some of the different casks and drinks. Two of you looking at each other inside this quiet and despair-filled tavern. Any conversations or actions you guys have at this time?
There, above this fireplace, is there like a mirror or anything? Something to get a reflection off of?
I would say that there would be, but in addition, if you are looking for just anything with reflection, the lantern that is on your table is made out of a polished type of metal that you could see a reflection as well.
I'm trying to, because I'm not looking to create suspicion, keep an eye on old Bartlett over here through a reflection. So I'm looking this way towards Gestal, watching her reflection, seeing what she's up to. So yes,
Trying to turn the lantern so you can see her.
Yeah.
Yeah. For Palin, give me a perception, and Gestal, with your passive, you'll be able to kind of notice this at this time. As you notice Palin's pumpkin-esque head kind of glances a little bit down just towards the lantern at this time, yeah.
What's she up to? She's still doing this paperwork?
She has what looks to be a pile of paperwork, and she begins to move these very small bags left and right. But you notice as well that with a 16 perception, she is taking what looks to be these small objects that are scattered across the table. And now you're seeing what's actually happening is she's putting them into these small bags and then putting them off to the side. Some of the objects look very simple and mundane, things like a little bit of gold. Some look to be candles, some look to be rations, but then others look to be jewelry, gemstones, things of such. Letters.
Letters?
Yep, you can see that there's almost like these envelopes that she has where she wax stamps them and she puts them sometimes with some of these small little bags.
Oh. And I am saying this in a whisper. Mm-hmm. I know it's a very quiet tavern. I'm whispering.
It's dead silent. The only sound you can hear inside the tavern is the occasional drips of water from the leaky roof and the sound of the crackling fireplace. Even the old people, you can hear them just breathe over there.
Oh, God.
They're not even speaking to each other at this time.
Okay. With this in mind, I will say less and point to her reflection in the lantern, and then give like a 2 fingers to my eyes gesture, and then back at her like over, like, and the I'm watching you sort of signal, but towards her. Yeah, you got it, yeah.
Are you doing that for her to notice, or just?
No. I'm doing this Tigger style, so he knows what I'm doing.
Ah, that's good. No roll needed for that.
Alright, can I face Palin and look at her without being so direct about it?
Yeah,
or
make
obvious about it?
make a stealth, but the DC is very low.
I shift in my seat, so she's like behind me. So if he were to like look in my direction, he could see her over my shoulder.
I guess I'll give you advantage because of the help from Palin, kind of helping you move around. With the 5 initially, the 11
I'll
will
do a
do
lean.
it. DC of a 10, as you are able to kind of glance over, and you see the same familiar thing. You see a girl who is moving objects and looks like she is organized and sorting them. It's just something that you notice at this time.
Alright. I'll like stay looking at her. I'm not trying to like burn like, into her or anything like that.
No.
But as we're sitting there, I'll say, do you remember when we first met?
Yes. Yes,
Jason,
I do.
Jason had told me that you were his squire.
Wow.
I imagine, based on how you two do not work well together, that is not the truth.
I think it's his truth, whether that is my truth. I think he is very adept at killing monsters. When we were in this church just now, there were monsters there. He handled himself very well. In a way, I'm his squire.
Considering that you were unconscious and he is covered in blood, I imagine things could have been done a little bit easier. Maybe with some coordination, some teamwork.
Yeah, I mean that's no fault of his own. I'm not very good at I don't have much experience with combat, if I'm gonna be honest.
So, what are you good at? Are you good at getting what you want? And I'm gonna like eyebrow to Bartlett.
With people I trust, yes. If I do not trust people, and I'll kind of like point my head backwards, however that would work. Yeah, just like that. In this quiet tavern. Then no. But I used to sell things. I used to talk to many people.
So what is it that you want now? There must be something you are after here.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I haven't always looked this way. Heard a bit of magic there.
That was it.
Someone
That's
cast
what
a spell. I'm looking for a way to remove what I believe to be a curse. And I'll gesture to my form.
No. That came from the place where we were at, not in this place. What is it in this place that you want?
If it doesn't have answers for that, I'm out of here.
I'm gonna nod towards the lady.
Oh. Oh. Right. In this place. I think keeping an eye on things here while we can will help us in our travels, as there are a lot of dangers on the road, as we've just found out, and there could be dangers around the town or in the town.
I see. So the monsters we've already killed are not all the monsters here, is what you are saying.
That is exactly what I'm saying.
So would it not be easier just to kill all the monsters?
Yes, but I think we should. There's more to it than just killing monsters sometimes.
You mean torture them?
Well, no. No. No, not like that. The other way.
The other way.
Asking questions without the torture.
You mean interrogation?
More like a survey, softer than an interrogation.
So, what are you doing talking to me?
Yeah. This
Or would
is
you rather I survey? Though I have a reputation of being heavy-handed with it.
and I don't know if every monster can be dealt with a heavy hand.
Eventually, I find they all are dealt with a heavy hand.
And I'm sure that has been the case, but I think if we find out more here and then travel with Ishmar, survey him, we would have a heavier hand to work with.
You understand the kind of man that Ismark is.
Well, I mean, we've just met. You know, he might not be who he seems to be.
He's weak. He has no loyalty. He cares not for his own family. What do you think I am missing?
So far, nothing. But maybe the journey will reveal something.
Like what? Or what is it that you hope is revealed about him?
You know, maybe anything is possible, you know, if you really think about it. I don't know what I'm looking for from him, but maybe there has to be something there below the surface.
Is this why you took him home?
To his home, yes.
To find out what was below the surface.
No. That. No. No, that was just, you know, we're here to improve our reputation. What's better than helping someone home? It could have been anyone, you know. All above the surface then.
I do not believe that there is much more to him. The reason why I think this is because he just wants to dump his responsibilities and go. That is it. He is discarding his family under the guise of obeying his father's wishes. So I do not understand why someone who was in such a privileged position of being is the one in charge of this town, would rather the hunter take over than his son. Or rather, his son take his daughter to a place with high walls so he does not have to protect her. I find it easier and more effective to take the evidence at hand to show the people who they are. Like these other circumstances you wish to survey. I have noticed one thing about this village. Everyone has their own, and they do not deviate. They have their friends, and they do not deviate. Their families, and they do not deviate. They say they are close, but there is always just one that is not. That is reason enough to inquire. That is reason enough to believe that maybe someone is not actually from here. I would not wait on such a thing. But again, I have a habit of being heavy-handed. Considering our time is short, maybe you should not wait on it either. And then I'm gonna look at Bartlett again.
Looking over there, you can see that she is giving the two of you kind of a glance, almost as if she was eavesdropping or trying to eavesdrop on your guys' conversation. The second you glance though at her, you can see her eyes kind of get a little bit alerted. She just kind of looks back down at her work and continues to do her thing.
Perhaps we've spent, enough time here, and we should join the others.
You should, after you are finished.
Very well. I think I will go join them then.
That is not what I meant. But if you like, I'll handle this for you.
You're gonna handle it?
If it means safety for the people I find important, then I will handle it.
Well, I mean, maybe I should stay then, just in case,
Or maybe you should handle it yourself before I have to.
That's also a fair point. Let me see what I can see here. And I'll stand up. And
Just
I'll
stretch and look over his shoulder.
I'll just kind of, saunter over to the bar. I'll order myself a drink.
He asks, how are you going to pay for that? What object are you going to barter in exchange for a drink?
I have here a stone. Will you accept that?
It needs a little bit more than a stone.
I have a small bell. Would you like a bell?
He kind of looks it over. Needs a little bit more.
How about a bell and a candle?
A bell and a candle he will not say no to, as he actually takes these two objects and he pours you this kind of thick kind of mead that some of you guys have been drinking, some of you guys have not been, and offers that to you at this time.
Excellent. Thank you. And I will take the long way around, coming this way, behind Bartlett.
Yeah, around there is
And
about 5 feet of width, so you kind of just have to do a little
fine.
shimmy
Yep.
scoot from behind her, and
Yep.
she stops and just kind of looks at you and watches you walk around her.
Oh, I am not looking at her. I am looking at the table and what she has on the table.
Give me a perception check, and she does notice you looking at the table. Yes,
That's fine.
creepy nightclub guy.
That's fine. She can know that. It's a 9.
A lot of stuff is covered up, a lot of
Perfect.
bags, but you do see that a lot of it looks to be letters of different handwritings. There's different waxes, there's different seals, there's bags that look to have names on them, and addresses, but you can't really make out much detail. She turns and goes, "Is there something that I can help you with?"
Yeah, so I'm doing this as I pass by, so it's a
Do you just
it's a
ignore her
pass
when she
by.
says that?
Yes, but I'm looping around. It's and sitting down directly across.
Well, that was a long way to take a seat, but is there something that you want to discuss or anything?
Just taking the scenic route, and then I'll slide the ale across to her.
She looks over and she goes, "Okay, so what did you do? What did you break? Did you get in trouble inside the village, or?"
No, no such thing.
So
The
what's-
group here has actually been doing a lot of good.
what's-
Fortifying, searching for children, lost children, purging evil. Yeah, covered in pumpkin guts, just seeds spilling everywhere. She's wounded.
If I should ask, what made you take the scenic route?
Just checking in. A good friend of Ishmark's, you know. You claim to know him since childhood?
I know him, yes, and we hung out, but I wouldn't consider us best friends either.
No?
No, not with how everything's been going on with him and his sister and the whole...
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
I mean, you're not stupid. I mean, you can tell that him leaving after his father died is a little messed up, you know? I mean, leaving the town kind of alone just to go to Vallaki so he doesn't have to, you know, take care of his own blood doesn't really boil well with me. Because I would die to see my family, but it seems like he just likes to drop his off like a package.
He is traveling with his sister. No?
To get there. And then
Mhm.
I guarantee you the first thing he's going to do is go to the local tavern or bar, get drunk, and he'll probably never talk to her again, or he'll just come back here. I'd put all my gold on it.
How much gold would that be?
I don't need to tell you how heavy my pockets are, but I'm pretty well off when it comes to gold. Unfortunately,
Okay.
it's no
Weird flex.
No use for it here, though. Just heavy metal.
I think people can change. You don't believe in change?
I suppose, but I've just seen this type of song and dance before, so...
The same song and dance with Ishmark? Your best friend? Since childhood?
People
What do
before,
you think?
when there's an easy way out, they tend to either leave or find a quick solution to benefit themselves. I just think that he's going to do the same. I mean, growing up, he's always talked about how much he doesn't want to take care of her and how much he wants to just be able to make his own mark on the world and live his own life. So I think that's what he probably sees with Vallaki. I mean, I don't ever remember hearing his father even bring up the safety of Vallaki once. But the day after he died, it's, oh, well, you know, we need to go, it's safer there, and maybe it is. I just don't really travel back and forth. I have my connections there, but this is my home. This is my village. So, and until the fog's gone, that's what it's going to be like.
I really don't like him very much. Ishmark, that is.
Yeah, but he is the son of the former mayor, so I try to be nice to him.
Well, that mayor's gone now, so certainly you could treat him however you like.
Yeah, but who knows? Maybe I would just feel bad because I was close with his father, with the mayor. So I don't
Were
want
you?
him- Yeah, we were cool. I mean, I hung out with Ishmark, and he was always nice, and he did really good for the village. He didn't really do anything corrupt or anything vile that at least I remember. I mean, he was always somebody that people never had an issue with. I mean, he would try to do things the best he could, but with the given situation we're in, You're not expecting giant things.
You wouldn't have had any issue with him or any reason to say
You like
shoot him in the chest?
You're like an investigator or something? No.
No.
No, I think that I enjoy Rasmus and I think he does a good job, but for somebody who, you know, doesn't have a soul, I wouldn't really put somebody like that as...
Doesn't have a soul. It's very strong words.
Well, they're realistic words. You can tell what people in Barovia have and don't have souls, just kind of like looking at them in the eyes.
Whoa. What makes you say that?
Because I feel like I have a soul. I mean, she kind of points over at Eric, and Eric's just kind of quietly just kind of wiping down one of the glass. He goes, stuff like that. Or maybe they're just so numb to the world that they act like they don't have a soul. But whatever it is, I don't know. I don't really gel with people like that.
Not like him enough to assassinate him, maybe?
She kind of looks at you and goes, I feel like this conversation is done, but no, I wouldn't say so.
Just casual conversation. No need to get upset.
Would you like to check out some of my work or anything that I have to offer? Because
Certainly.
I have been noticed that you've been pretty interested in that over the past half an hour or so.
Oh, always. I'm a man of many interests and intrigues. What have we got here?
As she kind of smiles, you can see this small blur. There's almost like a small black shadow begins to kind of scurry across the ground. And you can see climbing up the side of the table is a small spider that begins to slowly kind of walk over and tuck kind of like under her sleeve. As she goes, well, if you're interested, I do a few services here in the village of Barovia that might interest you and your party. It's kind of what I've been doing for the past 2 days here.
What such services besides spiders?
If I need to have my ears in places that are not close, he kind of scratches the spider. My little buddy helps me with that. What I do is I help bring objects from one place to another, or upon request bring objects into Barovia throughout my own means. So if there are some things that you are interested from outside of the mists, I can bring some of those in here for you for a price. And she begins to move some of the pieces of paper, and she does give you what looks to be a sheet with a few different prices and smuggling time of some common to uncommon items.
Does anything stand out on the list in terms of items? Anything wild?
Sure. Looking over at it right now, this is what you see. Here we go. So there are some items that you can get in and get smuggled into the lands of Barovia. So these are just some of the basic kind of items that you can get in and out. So there's things such as healing potions, fire-breathing potions, resistances, swords, some magical items, and the assortments.
Okay.
But she can also send, as she discussed with you at the table, she can also send letters out of Barovia or into Barovia at a fee, though.
Yeah. Well, you know, perhaps I was wrong about you, Barlet. And I'll stand up from the table. Oh, what? Yeah?
Many are.
Oh, well. I may be one of them. Enjoy the ale. We'll be off now.
She has not taken a sip of it since you put it there. As you begin to
That's
make your way.
fine. That's fine. It's just for her. A bell and a candle, that's all it is.
switching over to Jason, Thalamir, Gray, and company. All of you guys make your way over to the estate, which you can see that there is a large carriage that is visible. It is painted with purples and blacks, 2 horses. Not the most fanciest for some of your guys' backgrounds. I've seen them. But they are serviceable horses. And this carriage is packed almost to the brim. You can see that there are large bags, burlap sacks, and crates full of food. As you can see, Irina has been sitting for who knows how long on the front porch of the estate, kind of just looking at the dark gray clouds go by, feeling the breeze and kind of taking in the world around her. As Ishmar just kind of walks over there and begins to kind of move some stuff towards the carriage. Jason, you were the first one to get there, but company follows right behind. What do you say or do at this time?
Hello, Irina.
Oh,
How are you?
I remember you. You're Jason, right?
So we were kind of discussing maybe not going to Valaki today, maybe going tomorrow. How would you feel about that?
Not happening. We need to go tonight. That was my father's dying wish, and I am not spending another 24 hours or even a night inside this house. I mean...
Wait, you're not gonna spend 24 hours, you're gonna spend way less than that. We're gonna leave at first dawn. But we cannot leave right now, okay? Like, we are gonna be caught in the blood moon. Like, it's not happening.
Well, do you know that the blood moon's happening tonight?
Oh, there is a chance that it is happening tonight. And if it happens tonight, we are all dead.
So then what happens tomorrow, then, if it doesn't happen tonight? Do the odds change
Well,
then?
No, but we can leave earlier. Like I said, we leave at first dawn. Like, as soon as the sun comes out, we leave, and then there is no risk of getting caught in the blood moon.
You can see visible upsetness across your face. She goes, well, then I don't understand what the point is of having security or having any type of guards to protect us then, if you guys can't handle just a little night stroll.
If it was just a little night stroll, absolutely, I would be the first one to protect you. But this isn't a night stroll. This is a blood moon. Okay, like, no one is surviving that. At least not at our current power level.
Well, perhaps I can up some coin for you guys then, if you guys are interested. Anything that can make that challenge feel less intimidating. And as this is happening,
Chris.
Jason, give me a wisdom saving throw at this time.
Oh no.
Ooh!
It appeared. It was a natural one. Okay.
Within that one, Jason, you feel a warmth kind of go across your face and a relaxation of some of the muscles as she puts her hand on your shoulder. Gray, as you and Thalamir are kind of making your guys' way over there, I would say you, Gray, especially with you leaving with him, you can probably see some of this transpire. But as this is kind of this hand on your shoulder, you feel as if you are under the effects of being charmed at this time, Jason. If you're able to be charmed. I just think that a monster hunter like you could handle the little blood moon. I mean, it is only a few hours and we'd get there well before midnight. So it wouldn't be like we'd be in the most intense of it, even if there was. And I assure you that my father has traveled through blood moons and he's always been okay.
You know what? Maybe it was a little bit too rough. Maybe you aren't the brat that I thought you were.
No, not at all.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I've been wanting to hunt some stronger prey. This might be a good opportunity.
Well, I heard that there's a few places around Valaki that are full of mysterious monsters, and I know that they even have bounties for some of the urban legends. Gray with an 11, you see this more direct and closer conversation, but you don't notice any difference with an 11. Seems like you're talking to somebody of interest or in a friendly manner.
Yep. Alright, well then I don't give a shit, it's fine.
Language.
Oof.
We can just try to ride it out and just get there as early as we can. I mean, I'm already packed with all my things, so I can leave within the hour.
And I think maybe we should leave early then, instead of waiting until 3 p.m. But would you agree with that?
I'm fine with leaving now. You just might want to ask your two friends. As you can see, Thalamir and Gray, kind of, just a few feet off into the distance at this time.
Oh, hey guys. Nope. Actually, I've been convinced we should leave today, but we leave earlier instead of waiting until nightfall. Or, sorry, not nightfall, to waiting until 3 p.m.
I believe that was a suggestion I made as an alternative to waiting until tomorrow.
But you were so set on it, Jason.
Irina was pretty. I don't know. I came in here thinking she was a little brat, but maybe not. Maybe I was wrong. Like she's cool.
With a 5 insight, Thalamir seems pretty legit. Yeah, love these dice today, man. Love the dice.
Well,
Is there too. You see, she kind of looks off in your direction, Thalamir. It's like, I know that all of you can handle it. I mean, we would get there before midnight. If it gets a little concerning, we can always pull off to the side and make camp, build up some fortitude, and if there's any structures, we can also go into those. There's many ways that we can get out of this situation. I know that a group like you can.
But why not? Why not just avoid it entirely and wait? I mean, not even 8 hours. Not even 12 hours.
Why wait? Like, what if the blood moon doesn't happen today? Like, we can just go now and avoid all this hassle.
Or we could just go in the morning and then not even have to worry about it at all. We don't have to play this what-if game. Jason, what has gotten into you? You were so adamant.
Arena made a really good point. Also, maybe if the blood moon happens, we can take the beasts. Like, I've been wanting to hunt some prey, and they seem pretty strong.
I am of the opinion that we either leave within the hour and catch the tail end, or the very beginning, I should say, of a blood moon should it happen, or we wait. No in between.
We got just Stahl and Palin, and we can leave right now. Like, gather things on the carriage.
Jason, may I talk to you over here? In private, please.
Well, as the two of you have that conversation, I'm going to go sit on the carriage getting ready to go. And she kind of smiles and waves over at Jason, and begins to make her way over to the carriage with Ishmar getting her ready as well.
Jason, quick question. It seems like these two are being so uncooperative. What is the reason why we're helping these people? I mean, what have they done for us? What can they do for us?
At first I was helping them because you guys wanted to do this. I wanted to stay here from the very beginning. But they were like, no, we have to help them. And yeah, now I kind of like Arena. I don't know, she seems like a cool person. So I'm willing to help them.
It just seems like we're not getting anything out of it. We're just putting ourselves at risk. I mean, these people can't help us. Look at Ishmar. I mean, he wants no part in even protecting. He could care less.
I know, he's a bum. Like, if danger happens, I'm pretty sure he's just gonna start running. Like, he's willing to abandon his sister, his family, his home. I don't know, Arena seems different.
Both of them are.
Nah,
more so actually Arena.
look at it this way. She's trying to honor her dead father's wishes, right? And never left the house. She never left this place. To her, this
And
is an opportunity to get to know the world.
Okay, and with that said, what do we gain out of it?
We gain a carriage ride, and like they said, if something happens, we can get to know the other people who are in the middle of the road. The Vistani, right?
I really
What?
could care less to meet someone in a camp in the middle of the road.
Yeah, fair enough. That wasn't my strongest argument. But like, at least, hey, you can kill monsters, so that's always fun.
How about we start with monsters not in the peak of a blood moon?
Yeah, I would also normally rather avoid that, but like I said, I don't know, Irina kind of convinced me. I want to help her. Like, I know I'm kind of a let's help everyone guy, but I have a good feeling about her. And well, the Toms seem pretty set on their way, so at least we cannot do much here, but we can help one person make their travels. What reason do we have to not help them? So she's gonna pay, like she was offering a bag full of gold. You like that, right?
No, not really. It does no matter. There's no weighing on this situation.
Oh.
I mean, just look at it. We can't even spend the gold that we have. It's paperweight to these people.
Yeah.
We're risking our
gold
lives
is-
for nothing.
Oh.
They can't even give us information, which is what I'm after.
Maybe they can get us into Valaki, and like that seems helpful to you.
But they don't know anyone in Valaki. They've never left their house. How are they even have any sort of connections?
Maybe their
It
father
just
has
seems like
connections.
it seems like these people are a lost cause. If
Look.
they really want to leave tonight, then so be it. But I don't think we should be there.
I really think we should. We already made a promise to them that we were gonna do this. Like, we can't just back away on our word.
Sure we can. If they're not being cooperative, then why do we have to bend the knee?
They are being cooperative. The plan was to leave at 3 p.m. They are just asking us to move it along. Like, if we
And-
leave now, if
and-
we stop with
and-
all this pointless argumentation, like, we could just, boom. And argumentation, I don't even know if that's a word. But, yeah, I'm saying that.
I mean, I'm sorry, but if they can't spare a few hours to completely prevent any sort of catastrophe, then I don't think they have everyone's best intentions, best wishes in mind.
Ishmark, I agree with you. He probably doesn't think about anyone other than himself.
Again,
Right.
it's not Ishmark. It's Irina.
I
You heard
don't
it.
know.
You heard it yourself. Ishmark was more than willing to wait another night.
How about we go in there, we talk to Irina, you point us to her. I'm pretty sure she is gonna be able to convince you. She's a good friend. She's more reasonable than people give her credit for. Come on, Harrisman.
As Jason begins to walk away this time, Thalamir, you see Gray's there, you see Jason. Is there anything you do, or do you just wait for the party to unite over here later?
I'm gonna go talk to Gray, away from Jason.
Gray, you see as Thalamir begins to approach you, Jason walks past at this time. What do you guys discuss and what do you guys do at this current moment?
Gray, I think I need your opinion. Something.
Yes. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this whole situation involving Irina and Ishmark? In terms of, I mean, leaving and being on the road in the woods during peak blood moon, potentially.
I feel as though my opinion may be skewed.
How so?
If this host gets destroyed, I can simply jump to another. You do not have that luxury. So while I may not fear it overly much for myself, I understand you have your reservations. I am of the opinion that if we left within the hour, we would meet the beginning of the moon, should it be an issue. But we
What
would
if-
make it there.
What if
I am
we
also of
encounter
the
any
opinion-
sort of hiccups along the road? I mean, yes, if the traveling is perfect, there's no sort of bumps in the road or any sort of detours, then yes, maybe it could be worth it. But, I mean, just look at where we are.
Yes.
Surely there's going to be some sort of things that set us back, which would only mean that we're going to be out in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the blood moon.
I agree. Hence why I say there are two options. Leave within the hour, hope for the best, and catch the very beginning of it, should we catch it at all. Or leave in the morning and not take the gamble at all. Those are our only two options. If they do not wish to see those two options, that is just unfortunate. I do not think they will survive on their own, unless through some kind of intervention. Ishmark has already begun drinking. He will be drunk on the road, meaning it will be up to the girl whether or not she survives, rather than her brother.
What are your thoughts on just having them leave without us then?
Their survival odds are slim, but the fact that she was kept inside that entire time, the fact that this count seems to have a vested interest in her, based on what they've said, it warrants enough interest and concern that I do not wish to lose that asset, one way or another. She will likely survive just through the Count's interest in her. It is just a matter of whether or not we let the opportunity slip through our fingers to protect her and gain favor both with her and potentially with the Count. That can be utilized later. I see her more as an asset than necessarily a bratty teenager, as much as she is that as well. Jason seemed taken immediately with her. I'm not sure exactly if it was normal or not, but it was rather sudden. That is the only comment I can make on
He
that
was
matter.
changed so quick. I mean, he was dead set on his plan in the tavern.
Wait, can I go ahead and try
Yeah.
another insight now that we've been up close and personal with Jason and he's tried to convince us?
Sure.
Nope, same thing.
An 11
Unless
minus-
I could do the past life knowledge thing, the knowledge from a past life, and roll a d6 real quick. So that makes it a 17. That's a C.
With your guys' rules that are already
Oh.
with the 16 and with the 17, you guys do get a little bit of suspicion with why he's acting strange. I will say, based off those rules, you guys can tell that Jason is acting a little bit friendlier than he's ever been. And I will say that that does cause a little bit of confusion or concern with you guys, that he is not indeed acting like himself, no.
Do I recall her using magic in front of us at all in the brief interactions we've had? Or no?
Give me
I don't.
a history check. I don't think that she did.
I don't either, but I'm not 100% because I was aware she was a magic user, but I don't remember how.
You haven't seen her use magic, but I will say, based on a 16, you do remember her talking to Jason when when he first arrived there, and she was very kind of hands-on with him, and that was strange for somebody who have seen each other twice.
I will say, the sudden change seemed to come when she was suddenly very touchy-feely with him. Manipulative. It reminds me of something I'm capable of doing with my spores, where I'm able to sort of manipulate the way that one feels, because I do have Charm Person in my spell list.
Yeah, I would say that if you specifically have that spell,
I do.
Give me an Arcana check as well to see what you could have picked up on similarity-wise. 17's a good number. You are aware of that spell, and specifically because you have that one and that roll, you do have some suspicion that she might have charmed Jason now at this point. Temporarily.
It is quite possible that she used something similar to a little trick I know to make someone more compliant temporarily. We'll know within the hour if he's suddenly upset, if she casts something upon him, but I have a suspicion that she has manipulated him magically. Another reason to take interest in her, but also to keep the guard up.
Another interest to just leave her on her own.
Not necessarily. I'm sure in a place like this, magic users would be quashed rather quickly. They serve as a threat if they gain enough power. The fact that the Count is interested in her means that she is likely an asset, in more than one way, than just idle interest. More than just a canary in a gilded cage. She has use. Utility.
I don't know if I see that.
At this time, the two of you guys have this pause. Is there anything else you guys discuss or do at this time?
Let's go back and talk to the other two. See what they want to do with all this information. We should get Jason, though, just so he's not tempted.
I agree. As I said, we will know after an hour. He will know. That is how that spell is supposed to work anyway, unless she has modified it somehow.
And what happens if we find out that he is being manipulated? Then what?
I suppose that depends. She simply wants to manipulate him into allowing them to leave earlier. It's not as though she's manipulating him to serve her in some way beyond that. It's not malicious towards him, necessarily, just impulsive and selfish. There's 4 of us to keep him in line should we decide not to go with them. She is simply trying to speed things along one way or another.
You said you have access to this spell. What if we use it against them? What if we try and charm maybe Ishmark?
Ishmark would be easier. She has elvish blood, as similar to my own host. It would make her more difficult to use the spell on.
Well, let's go see what the others say about this.
I agree.
I'm gonna go find Jason and bring him back with us.
Yeah, as You guys made to make your guys' way over there. Jason, you made your way into the Blood on the Vine Tavern. Gray, Thalmir, I'll say you guys are following just very closely behind. Jason, you see Gestal and Palin in there. Gray and Thalmir, you guys are making your way in as well at this time. Reunited inside the Blood on the Vine Tavern. Any conversations or actions? As it's the time is ticking.
How long is the walk between Irina's house and the tavern?
Not super long. It's probably about 15 minutes of a walk.
Oh, Jason would have gotten here first because they
Correct.
stopped the talk like that.
So, Jason, you'll have about a little bit of dialogue before they arrive at this time.
So he's getting here just all. Hey, buddy. So Arena made some pretty convincing points, and we are debating leaving right now. Are you okay with that? Like, would that work for you?
I am ready, if necessary. Is that why the three of you left?
We left to try and convince Arena to stay, but then, she made some good points, and we decided, well, I decided at least, to leave right now. And I'm trying to see if you guys can agree with me.
It makes no difference to me. I am ready. I
Great.
finished everything.
And I'll talk to Phelan.
Good luck. He seems to be occupied.
Hey, Phelan. Phelan. So we were discussing about now waiting till tomorrow. Are you okay with that?
Not waiting until tomorrow?
No, we are leaving right now.
Sounds good to me. I'm ready to go.
Don't you want to say goodbye to your lady friend here?
We already said bye.
Okay. Well then, I guess all we have to do is to convince them with Caliber.
They do not agree.
Yeah, why do we need to convince them?
No, Gray's pretty on board. Just Talomir is the one that's a little bit resistant.
Why is this?
Because I don't know, I guess he's upset with them. And he's like, oh, why should we help them if they don't want to wait? And so he's just mad. It's gonna pass. I mean, if all of us are going, I think he's going to agree with us, hopefully.
Is that true?
Yeah. He was pretty adamant about leaving them to their own devices.
I think by now we'd have walked in, right?
At this point, I would say with this conversation, the doors open as Thalomir and Gray have entered inside the Blood on the Vine Tavern, as you guys have been discussing and talking for a good amount of time at this point.
I've left something in my room. If others are willing to come with me, we can discuss where others will not hear as well. On everything.
What is there to discuss? I thought we were leaving.
I do not wish to say, for fear of upsetting the potential victim. Gray will kind of tilt her head at Jason. She's trying.
Insight.
Yeah.
See if I noticed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
With a
Gray,
4?
Yeah. So yeah, you don't pick anything up. Should I try to do a deception in case I get an at 1 or something, or? I'm not exactly being subtle about it. I'm trying to.
Yeah, I would say with Jason, you kind of get the idea that something serious is, needing to be discussed, and you think that, Gray's being tight-lipped, but with a 4 insight, you don't have any leads on what she might be leaning towards unless she says something blatantly at this time.
Crystal, I do believe it was in the room that we shared that I left it. If you would.
I'm gonna like angrily look at everybody and get up and then follow her.
Jason, you're going there as well. Thalamir, Palin, are you going with or are you staying back at this time?
Sure, yeah, I guess I'll go with.
Before they get there, as soon as Gistal walks in, I'm gonna shut the door and
Oh,
just
I don't even
say,
get in there.
No,
Damn
I've already shut the door. I didn't.
Okay.
I heard Jason was behind me. I heard footsteps. I'm just shutting the door to try and minimize it.
But he's quicker. You gotta remember, he's got 4 legs, so he can go
Yeah,
twice
pretty
as
quick.
fast.
But
Pretty sure he
you
beat
know,
me every
Gray's,
step of the way.
Gray's just shutting the door. She turns to Gistal. I suspect Irina has cast Charmed Person on Jason in order to convince him.
Convince him
I-
of what?
To leave early. He was rather on board with leaving in the morning up until she was suddenly very touchy with him. We were too far to hear exactly what was said, but I am capable of similar magic that would be used to manipulate, to make a victim more amiable, more viable.
What is the difference? We agreed to leave with them today.
I understand this. Thalamir does not appreciate it, however.
Appreciate
And
what?
I was the use of Charmed Person and the potential risk we would take upon ourselves for strangers.
We agreed to this already. We agreed
I
to
am not-
this risk. Why now?
I am not saying anything against it. I am simply warning you.
Warning me of what?
The fact
Am I
that
more
Irina
dangerous than I was before?
is willing to use magic to manipulate us, potentially. We will know in the hour when Jason shakes it off. If he was charmed or not. Because he
She
will
tried
not.
to use magic on us already.
When was that?
When we met her at the house. Before we buried her father. Why are you only picking up on this now?
I do not have access to the nerves of this host, just the muscles. I do not feel when things happen in the same way that you would. Unless it affects my mycelium directly, I do have no sensation of it.
We had agreed to this. Why are we trying to not leave now?
I am not against leaving now. I am simply informing you of the risk of magic being used against us. I thought that you hadn't known. If you are aware, then I am perfectly okay with it. I was simply trying to inform.
And your theory is what? Jason has been
He has been
the victim of
charmed.
this?
He
But
has
he's already
potentially been charmed.
But he's already done what? Agreed to what we have already agreed to? They come from
I am-
nobility. Their name and their favor carries weight in these lands because
I
others
agree.
know that they are nobility. That was why we are doing this.
I agree. Jason neglected to mention that to Thalamir. I am just trying to be helpful. You are angry with me because I am trying to inform you of something that I did not know you already knew.
This is why we needed to speak privately.
I was trying to inform you of the spell without alerting Jason to it because it will simply make him upset. He will try to deny it if he is under the spell, or if he isn't. Either way, it will just make someone upset unnecessarily. I was simply trying to inform you so that you would be aware of the strange behavior. Palin, unfortunately, did not keep up with us fast enough. I heard Jason following. Else I would have
Would you
informed
mind-
him at the same time.
Would you mind letting them in? So that way everyone can have their voice heard.
Of course, I was simply trying to inform about the spell so that we could work around it. Because he will be absolutely adamant. Apologies, everyone.
As the door opens at this time, Jason, Thalamir, and Palin, you guys see that door to the bedroom opens up at this moment.
I'm just gonna pick up the yarn ball here. This is what I think I left behind. Marie must have left it.
Oh. Crystal, are you leaving a letter to Marie, letting her know what you're gonna do?
Come here in here for a moment, Jason. So we might all speak.
Just see. Oh, you guys are in this.
This was the room that we were in last night.
Intervention.
Can I also come in this room, or are you guys just talking to Jason right now?
No, everyone come in.
Okay. Is Thalamir in there?
Not yet. He
No,
will
he's in
be.
there.
Oh, is he now? He is. I didn't see it.
The sound of
I'm
hooves.
just so sneaky.
Yep.
Yeah,
Stealthy
the
horn.
You didn't,
sneakiest.
you
This
didn't see me.
guy.
I was so small. You didn't see me.
Centaur Rogue would go crazy.
He's dipping into multi-classing.
Fast
There he is.
people.
Jason, would you do me a favor? Please, Jason.
What are the favor?
With both of your hands, try and stretch them upward as high as you can.
He does that.
Alright. I try to punch him in the stomach.
Give me a dexterity save, Jason, at this time versus the punch to the stomach.
So
It's
just
an unarmed
strength.
strike.
We'll have a strength for you, yeah, for that.
Oh,
Ooh!
Alright, I do have
Ooh.
the giggling maw behind me.
It would
That
it would be AC, wouldn't it? That you'd be going off of for that.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
he still beat it though.
Yeah.
Look at that! Look at that confidence roll right there with a 21.
Crazy.
You that is actually was that a +3 modifier only too?
Yeah.
Jesus!
Single.
No,
But I
he
have the
really
giggling ball
wants Jason
behind
to
him,
get
so-
With
punched.
healing mod.
So,
You stretch your hands out this time. Gestalt, describe what you do at this moment.
so we both rolled an 18.
I'm gonna. Well, his hands are up, and he's distracted. I'm gonna punch him like right in the stomach, and as I do, I'm gonna kind of like hold him so he doesn't fall over. And as he takes the 3 points of bludgeoning damage,
Oof, crack some ribs.
the spell would end.
It would.
As you feel this sharp pinch into your chest and stomach cavity, you feel as if a brain fog has been lifted in a sense. You don't like get more consciousness or anything sense-wise, but your mind has more mental clarity at this moment as you start putting some pieces together of some of the things you said, and it feels almost as if you were nudged along with arcane ability. And as it happens for a few moments, you get the idea that you're pretty sure that something was casted on you, specifically from Irina. Whether you were charmed or whether you were influenced in some arcane way. You do consciously notice this at this time. And then a surge of pain from your chest from the jab also follows suit.
I apologize, Jason.
That bitch. Oh, fuck. What did you put?
I take
What?
it then that you were charmed.
What's going on in here?
It's
Irina
true, isn't
charmed
it?
Jason.
Oh,
She casts magic on me.
Stop, couldn't you have just, I don't know, slapped me? Like, did it have to be a gut punch?
Be lucky I did not have time to think about it, or otherwise I would have split you in two.
Thank you for sparing my life, then. That's a mental note you never do what you're asking of me. Hey,
It was for your benefit.
Truly.
Now, it's true. She used magic to sway you.
absolutely. Yep, my brain was clogged, but now I'll regain my full faculties. Yep, she definitely cast something on me. I don't know what, but yeah,
It would have been Charm
meditating.
Person, based on the way you were behaving. It's something I'm capable of as well.
And yet she charmed you to do
Doesn't mind
what?
control. Well, I came in there and I was asking her if maybe she could consider going tomorrow, and then she immediately just put a hand on my shoulder and was as if we were best friends. And every point she made sense to me. Like whenever she spoke, it just felt right.
We
But we
talked
had
it over
already-
with, but we talked it over with Ishmak. He was okay with leaving tomorrow. I think that's the best course of action, leaving first thing tomorrow. Because if we leave any time tonight, there is a chance we will get caught in a blood moon. And I'm just not understanding why they're so adamant on going today, right now, and they can't wait till tomorrow morning. To completely avoid any sort of chance at a blood moon encounter.
We knew this ahead of time. We agreed to this. Why is it so?
We
So
never
daring now.
knew about a blood moon before we agreed. We never knew what creatures were inside of the blood moon when we agreed. You saw it yourself firsthand. You fought a hellhound. Imagine that times 5 times 10 ferocity.
And if
think
it
we
happens
could
here,
take
what
that?
is the difference?
Times 5 of them times 10 ferocity.
Like 50.
But if
The
that
diff-
happens
the-
here, what is the difference? You
the
cannot keep
difference
the
is-
goat out of this place.
The difference is, people have lived in this town for a long time. Obviously, they can survive a blood moon here. Otherwise, no one would be alive here. So obviously, they're dealing with the blood moon somehow. And I think at least for our first blood moon, we should see how things go, see what we're up against, rather than just risk it just because we want to get there a day early. I don't see the need in taking a risk in getting to a town that's going to be there tomorrow. The town isn't the town isn't going anywhere. The people in the town aren't going anywhere.
So it is your safety you are concerned of.
Of
Neither
course.
the people here nor the people we've given our word to.
What do you mean?
It does not seem like you care for the people here, you just want to survive. And you do not want to keep your word that we had all given to escort them today. It is
Of
just
course
your own
of course.
security you're concerned of.
Not all
No,
of us.
that is not true. I spent all day today and yesterday preparing defenses for the town. When you went to go look for some child in the woods, for some fishermen, I spent the day making defenses for this town. So of course, these people, the safety of these people means something to me. The safety of all of you means something to me. Why would I risk that with going out in potentially the middle of a blood moon? We don't even know what we're up against. If we knew what sort of enemies were out there, what we were expecting, then maybe I might consider the other option of leaving tonight. But we have no idea. None of us have ever seen one of these phenomenons.
You were here.
I never experienced a blood moon.
You never saw the monsters of this land?
No. I was not even here. I was here less than 3 days before the Count struck us down.
So
We'll have Irina's magic.
Oh, great. We can be charmed.
Well, no. She could charm.
She can
The
charm the
hellhound.
beast. Yes, great.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
The
Wonderful.
charm person would
Um,
not work on the beasts. It only works on humanoids.
Yes. The
Rats.
charm humanoid spell would certainly work on a hellhound.
I'm
Correct.
no good with this magic stuff, you know.
Look, yeah. If I have a voice in this, I'd rather we don't.
Oh well, let me
Start,
ask:
you know,
Are you
using
Jason?
Irina's
Are you
fun.
Jason still, or are you Irina's puppet?
Jason.
Well, I was never her puppet. Okay, I just thought she made sense at the time, and I'm always Jason.
What if she charms us to survive?
That's not how that
That's-
works.
Yeah,
we-
that's.
I can say this as person who knows this spell.
You should.
All I have to do is
Charm
place my
palette,
hand
just-
upon your chest. All I have to do is place my hand upon your chest and say, "We are best friends now." And it will force you to choose whether or not. It'll force you to make a save. It'll force you to force your will against my own. I need my energy and my strength if we are to leave tonight, so I will not actually do it. Or will I?
No, please don't.
No, I'm trying to mess with him. I'm trying to mess with him.
If he
Now
just,
he's
like
gonna-
doesn't get magic though, he's just like not at
You know,
all.
that's what I'm saying is that
Can't
I'm trying to
you cast
I'm trying to
magic? Keep
No,
us
I'm-
alive?
I'm trying to. No, I'm trying to mess with him right now. I was like or will I was me like, did I already do it? How do you know I didn't?
Do I
type
feel
of
any
thing, like-
magic? Do I
that sounds
do
like
I
an
get a little?
intimidation check.
Yeah. Do I have a little tingle? Do I feel something? What am I rolling for that?
Are you,
Like, do I have to roll an intimidation? I'm not actually casting it, but I'm trying to like make him worry
Intimidating.
about it.
If
I'm
you're
trying to
trying
make
to-
him
Sounds
worry
like-
about
if
it.
Feels like
trying to-
intimidation to
yeah.
me.
If you're trying to make him worry, that'd be probably considered intimidation. Yeah.
It was like or did I? Did I cast charm person? Are you already under my influence? Type of thing.
With a 16,
Because
fight it.
I did walk over, I placed my hand on his chest. I was like,
What would that be? Insight?
all I would have to do is place
Charisma.
yeah.
a hand on your chest.
Yeah, that would just be a solid charisma to see if you can pick up on these things.
Bummer.
Oh,
With
no.
a 4 to 16, Palin, you feel a tingle sensation across your chest. You don't know if it's from arcane magic or if it's from high cholesterol, whatever it could be. You do feel a somatic body change, and it does give you a little bit of an eerie feeling at this time.
And after Gray messes with him a little bit, she is just gonna sit back on the bench, put her hands in her lap, and give him a eerie little smile.
Okay.
Anyone else who wants to see if I actually did it or not, feel free. You have my roll.
Just do it again and tell me to survive. Come on, you just did it. Do it again.
That's not how the spell works, Helen. I appreciate your enthusiasm,
We
however.
should try. It might work.
I can promise you that it's not how it works.
As there's this kind of pause for a moment, the chorus. You feel this kind of sensation go across your body, almost as if you have been blessed by some arcane ability. Anything you guys discuss or do at this time?
So we are not going. So that is the consensus.
It is not
go.
necessarily the consensus. It is simply a possibility. I could go either way, but as I told Thalamir, my view is biased, because I can simply jump to a new host should this one be destroyed.
I think we have to go. I at least said I was going.
We can still
I-
go, but why not wait till tomorrow?
I
Why
don't
are we
know.
even? Why even risk it?
Look, it seems all we have to do is convince Irina. Now, if we all go together instead of me going alone, we have a better chance.
Exactly. I mean, we faced the one. Well, no, two of us faced a hellhound. We're looking fine because of it. We'll have some magic. Gray's a wizard. We'll
not
be
a
fine.
wizard.
Magic user, wizard.
Not
It's all the same.
You're
It is
blessed.
not.
I'm feeling pretty wizard.
I mean, we're down on resources.
What
You guys spent
resources?
You guys spent a
What
lot in
resources?
your fights.
I'll
I am still
wipe up some of the
perfectly
seeds.
functional. I did not spend much of anything at all.
I've taken my little nap. I'm good to go.
Uh,
I think we have to go tonight.
okay, then I guess we are going.
That is the deal we made. However, we can do things to prepare for it and to prevent issues, nonetheless.
Don't have any time for more planning. Like, we already wasted a bunch of time on this. Oh, like, I was being possessed, I was being mind controlled and stuff. So, like, we need to leave right now if we're leaving.
Maybe they already left.
They did not.
They took off. Maybe.
Just get down.
Yeah, like, we could have.
Gotta beat traffic.
That's all they're trying to do is beat traffic.
Get that carriage off the road.
They said what? It was just their father's wishes to them to leave tonight.
Ishmark agreed with me and Jason.
Ew.
It was Irina that was
Wait.
putting up the fight.
There is likely a reason for that. One that we will not know unless we go along with her. Unfortunately.
Why don't we go ask her as a group?
If I had to caution a guess, I would say it is the rumored interest that the Count has in her. Without her father there to act as protection.
Yeah, great. Let's send her out during his time that he likes to wander about.
She is simply in a hurry to get someplace safe. It is irrational, but it is unfortunately what people do, from what I can tell. It is how I gained my hosts, was the irrational need to go places that they shouldn't, when they shouldn't.
You guys are so lost. I'm gonna walk out of the room.
Clop, clop, clop as those hoops begin to skitter scatter on the floor as you make an exit from the room. Gestalt, Palin, Gray, and Jason, you four remain here with the Giggling Maw. Anything you guys discuss and do at this time?
I'm
I
worried
follow.
for him.
I follow him out.
It seems that we are stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Indeed. You guys see Bartlett, you guys see the barkeep, you guys see a couple people. Are you guys planning on meeting Ishmark and Irina at the estate, or are you guys going anywhere else at this time?
We're following Thalamir to try and head him off, I think.
Alright.
Head him
I'm pretty
off,
sure that's
so-
what Gestalt is doing, isn't it? You know, stop him from running away so that we can discuss this as a team.
We discussed it. I want to see what
Okay.
he's going to do.
Yeah.
Oh,
You guys
that's also a good idea.
approach the estate, and you can see Ishmark and Irina are practically already on the carriage, getting the last few bits of straps and bits of the bit left to get these horses ready to go. As you see, Ishmark kind of waves over as Irina kind of gives a small little wave of the fingers and a very kind of subtle smile as well towards Jason and company as you guys begin to approach, as Ishmark kind of belches out at this time. It took basically the whole morning, but everything should be good to go if you guys are.
Since I'm the first one out, before anyone else gets here, I'm gonna walk up to Irina and just say, I don't approve of this plan. And if it's between me and you, I'm saving myself, you witch.
Oh.
And I'll walk down the road towards Velaki.
As you begin to walk down the road at this time towards Velaki, she kind of sits there and kind of looks towards Ishmark. They have a conversation at this time until Gestal, Palin, Jason, and Gray begin to approach. The four of you guys see Ishmark and Irina at this time. You can see Ishmark is there ready to go, Irina's there, and that smile, and like I said, that look towards Jason at this time appears as all you guys begin to approach them at this time.
I can see Thalamir walking, I take it.
I would say...
Yeah, I'm just walking down the road. I mean, you guys weren't that far behind me, but far enough that you couldn't hear me, like,
Yeah.
soft talk to her. But yeah, I'm just in the middle of the road, walking down the road.
Alright, I'm gonna chuck my skull and my skins in the cart, and I'm gonna pull out my axe and start like walking the same direction that Thalamir was walking. And then the giggling maw is gonna get onto the cart and sit next to Irene and go, "So, what's the plan? Gonna kill everybody? Or are we actually gonna survive this?"
I think that we're all gonna survive, and luckily for your friend wanting to lead the way and scout ahead, that was very heroic of him.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be more fun the other way, but if you want to be the good people, fine by me.
If you don't mind, as she kind of like looks over and she's inspecting the giggly maw at this time, and she goes, "What are you?"
I'm a Quasit.
A Quasit? What is that?
It's like a legendary king squeezed into a small body.
So, you're almost like a noble or royalty then?
I'm about as close as you can get.
Well, I can see that, and she kind of goes and kind of stands up for a moment, goes into what looks to be this gray and bluish burlap sack, and she puts her hand in, and you can hear this clinking and these kind of metallic sounds as she pulls out what looks to be a few items. She goes, "You know, I did not forget about you," and she kind of looks over towards the direction of Palin at this time and goes, "Your friend's first visits, and I was looking through my father's things and found a few leftover amulets, if you're still hungry."
Oh, famished! What have you got? What have you got? What have you got?
I found this one, and she kind of gives you a wide assortment of these different amulets that, for everyone else, you can tell these things are just by display. They probably didn't have any actual protection for her, but this is kind of her giving up some of her other father objects and items at this time. And she gives you about 6 to 7 of these amulets for the giggling maw.
Oh, he just goes right to town and just starts chewing on them.
Like trail mix. As you begin to enjoy some of that at this time, Irina and Ishmark looks at the rest of the group and goes, "Well, it seems like your friend is fed and ready to go. Are all of you ready?"
Indeed. Though, I will say this. You do not use magic on us again.
Oh,
It was not appreciated.
magic is my way of a little bit of persuasion. Jason.
I recognized it.
Well, it's quite insightful of you. It seems that you have harnessed
Oh, I'm
quite
capable.
the arcane eye.
I'm capable of the exact same thing.
Then you know how useful it can be. And Jason, I apologize if you're upset at all about the use of that. I need to leave this place, and I knew that you were the person who would most likely get me to that spot.
He's going to graduate a bow and be like, "Oh, of course, my lady. Worry, no hard feelings."
Well, she kind of smiles and looks at the rest of the group. She goes, "See, no harm, no foul. It just Whatever can get us to the town.
This is
safe.
sarcasm in case you can't understand things that aren't magical.
Yeah, she failed her her insight, so she thinks that you're straight up still kind of on her side with some of the things. Well,
I don't know if it was necessarily unwarranted. I'm pretty sure the big guy enjoyed punching him.
the big guy. She looks over at Kasal. You punched him.
It is one of the ways to break the spell before an hour is up.
Well, it seems like all of you are pretty insightful when it comes to the arcane. As she looks over at Palin and goes, "Are you familiar with any spells or anything like that?" And
She's trying to peg who's easily manipulated.
she kind of gives a glare, and as she does that, some of you with your passives are able to tell that there is a scowl kind of anger on her face for a minute, as she kind of looks back and goes, "No, I'm not trying to look for weaknesses. I'm just trying to learn about all of you and my new companions for the ride there. Are you somebody who is of the arcane touch, or is that perhaps why you are in this form?"
Talking to Palin, right?
Yeah.
I do not know much about magic, but I do know, and you tell me if this will work. If you just go ahead and charm us all to survive the night, would we not survive? I mean, I feel like that's a pretty, maybe a nuanced approach.
I have tried explaining to him that that's not how it works. He will not believe it from my mouth for some reason.
Well, I mean, maybe she went to a different school of magic, you know?
She kind of glances and looks over your form and goes, "I think that maybe one day you can learn magic to maybe reverse this this ailment, unless you like being a gourd."
Let's not gloss over my theory just a moment ago. I'd like to circle back to that. What do you think about that?
You see, she kind
You
of
you didn't comment at all, really.
she kind of glanced over. She goes, "Are you asking about my arcane ability, or?"
Irina, I want to know what you think about the charm person idea.
Oh, and she kind of
You
looks
charm
over
us all to survive. We
She looks-
have to survive.
She looks over at the rest of the party as like, "Is this guy serious?" She goes,
I've tried explaining multiple times. He will not believe me.
I thought that you were brushing that off as a joke. No, I can't guarantee your safety, but I do think that being charmed can make you safer.
What if we try my idea?
If you're
I
giving me
won't-
free roam to charm any of you, I would
That is not
any
at all.
of us.
That is not
You
at
can
all.
charm him if you'd like. I'm not
No.
spending my energy to do that. If he wants to try that harebrained idea, that is up to him. And up to you, should you choose to spend your energy on it. I will be saving mine for the potential blood moon.
I think someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
She kind of looks at the party and goes,
Road.
"Maybe if we're in a dangerous situation, you'll be the first one I'll charm and keep safe."
You could be so much more powerful.
You're limiting your own skills.
You're your own worst enemy.
As she prepares to travel with Ishmark, is there anything else you guys say or do at this time?
No. I can't believe
Yes,
you're
Rhoda?
still insisting on this.
You tried to sidestep it. I want to know.
She just wants to tell you her full magical ability, that's why.
Honestly, this is how we're gonna take down Strahd. This is the
Yeah.
only way.
Reverse charm card.
I'm telling you.
During your guys' travel, if you have not done so, you're getting a short rest, at least at this time. I would like to ask for, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Gustav, feel free to give me a D100 roll at this time. This is for random encounters. Okay.
63.
63 is good. So for that first short rest time, you do not have to worry about any abrupt interactions or anything like that. But we'll go into detail more about what you guys are seeing soon. But as this is going on as well, Jason, I would like for you to roll to see if tonight is the blood moon or not. How this works
a D4.
is it is going to be a D4, and on a 1, tonight's the blood moon.
Why are you doing this to me?
I think that you have
All
the
your
magic.
fault if we have the blood
No,
moon.
it's gonna
Jason.
be
It's
Do it,
all
it's
your
your
fault.
beautiful.
Do it. Do it.
It's all
So does
your
you have to roll
fault.
high or low?
As long as it's not a nat 1.
Bruh.
D4. 4's
Look
good.
at
Oh,
that.
come on,
That's,
man.
Tonight-
that's why we had to give the pressure.
Yes.
Now Falamir cannot be vindicated. Let's
So
go.
what that means
I don't
is
have to kill Irina.
tomorrow, no, not the opposite. Tomorrow there's a 50% chance, and if that does not hit, it will go up to a 75% chance. So it will just get higher and higher within these next few days. But tonight, you guys are able to travel safely at this time as you guys are leaving the village of Barovia. Thalamir, I know you're on foot, but just for a visual, does anybody else go outside of the carriage during travel? On hoof. I agree with that. Or who stays in the carriage or on top of the carriage?
Well, how many people could fit in the carriage? It's already packed to the brim with stuff.
To the brim. It can only hold 4 inside. And that is snug. And I will have to say, Thalamir, that does not include your size.
I'm perfectly happy to sit on top of the carriage. Like, I don't need
I don't
any
think you
sleep.
can
I don't
without
need the
breaking it.
elements.
Yeah, the top of the carriage is covered. So 4 fit
I just
inside.
mean like outside the carriage, I guess. Like if like the seat with the horses, presumably, unless Ishmark's steering and takes up the whole bench himself.
So Ishmark is at the front of it. You could fit another additional person there. But it'll be a snug and very kind of like long ride with the two of you up there, and then everyone inside without any real wiggle or leg room at all, because it is packed pretty tightly.
I mean,
Gastal is
Is there a
walking
place?
inside.
Is there a place where I can be on the carriage and still have some leg room? Like, can I be on the top or like?
No,
bottom?
You can dangle your feet out if you want. You can open up that side carriage door and just let those grippers get some air.
you know, I'm gonna sit next to Ishmark. Something tells me that would be funny for most of the trip. He doesn't like me.
Sure, as the two of you guys will just have, just for kind of perspective before we switch over to that map, this is kind of the two of you up there, these 4, we'll have Thalamir down here just to kind of show the perspective. But yeah, 4 open kind of slots. It would be very crammed though if 4 of you were in there, obviously on the outside of the carriage as well if people want to walk.
The Giggling Maw would definitely be in the carriage.
Oh yeah, I was going to say he's royalty.
He can probably sit on top.
Yeah, he only weighs like a few pounds. He's not heavy. He's only like 2 feet tall, not even.
And then Irina will be in there as well. And then for company, anybody else takes those 2 spots?
Someone else sneak in there, sure.
Yeah.
Why not?
2 nice little spots. So for you guys, as you guys begin to kind of pack the carriage at this time, you guys leave the village of Barovia and go back into the open fields. This great grass that kind of expands all the way out into the distance. You see the Ilvis River off into the distance ahead of you with the blue clear water, and that there is a bridge. As you guys begin to approach that direction at this time, I am going to ask for Palin to give me a perception check. Big roll.
Yes.
18.
Lantern eyes are peeking out.
Yeah. You
The pumpkin peepers.
Yep, the light glows bright. As you see up ahead, as you begin to make your way towards that Ilvis River, there is a bridge. This bridge is not super long. It just crosses the river. But there is something that catches your eye. There's a wooden arc that is above and around the bridge. And on this wooden archway is 6 dead ravens that had been nailed to the wood. Their bodies are kind of almost mummified from age. And there is writing that is in Elvish that is above the bridge.
Oh, I read Elvish. And I'm up
You're on
front.
a-
Alright, if you read Elvish, it says the following: "Despair follows you beyond." That's what it says.
Ishmark, this is not a very comforting message.
I think that has been put there as a deterrent for people to run away from the village. That's, even if they leave thinking they'll have a better life, they will find the same despair.
Hmm.
But who's going to let a little bit of writing stop them? As he begins to open up what looks to be a wine cask and begins to pour what looks to be a few glasses and offers them to everyone on the carriage at this time.
I've never let any writing stop me, mainly because I don't like to read.
You don't like to read.
Nothing exciting happens in a book.
Looks like me and you are going to get along quite well, as he actually offers a glass over to the giggling maw.
He'll, like, if he could fit his face in the glass, he will. And then you'll just see the liquid just lower and lower, and he'll pull his face out and go, I don't even know why I drink this stuff. I can't get drunk.
Do you like the taste the least?
Nope. And he keeps drinking.
Well, as he kind of turns back towards the party at this time, everyone is traveling amongst each other on this carriage, getting closer to leaving the village of the village of Barovia towards the town of Vallaki. And we have a lot that is ahead of us when it comes to this journey. Some good, some potential bad, some potential ugly. But a lot of things that we'll have to figure out next week as we're back with session 9 next Wednesday. So from all of us, we are on the road to the town of Vallaki. Yes, we have finally left the village. We have a large world ahead of us full of oddities, success, potential failures in the future. But it wouldn't be D&D without any of that stuff. So from John, HP, Nate, Connor, Frost, and myself, we appreciate you every time for watching. We hope you have a great summer. And see you next week. Have a good one. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you.